Hello, welcome in Daily Painting. It's still before 12 o'clock in the night, so I have some time to work on the concept. This series is about showing up every day, and I'm working currently on ideation in regards to the universal energy that surrounds us all, and I'm playing with a thematic of an abstract form of energy in the colors of the yellow. Today my quest is to work on the canvas with tools like markers and so on to find like how they behave on the canvas. Those are acrylics, and I'll be working mostly with the Molotov brand. We're gonna see how they cover it. There's much more to it because they have maybe golden and also bronze pigments, so that's definitely gonna be fun. And without further ado, I will get into it. This is also my scientific kind of memoir of my research, like what works, what not. So yeah, thanks. So let's start it. On the first row are going my highlighters, and we're gonna see how we gonna cover the painting with this type of color. So I can treat it as a form of a basic sketch. Interesting. So highlighter really works really awesome. You kind of see it as a possible introduction for sketching on the painting. I mean, part of it is that you cannot take it off, but so do pencil, you cannot erase it. Okay, so I'm working with this kind of energy. It's a very basic adaptation of some thoughts that I had regarding composition. Okay, this is one type of the line. This is a border line. Also works pretty well, which is pretty cool. These are the markers. Okay, and now the last one I'm gonna work with a more greenish fluorescent, and let's see how that plays out. Okay, so this is completely invisible, which is also really good to know. And for the next row, I'm gonna shoot some Stadler metallic brush, something like that. Yeah, let's see if it's gonna. Okay, so we got some color, and it's very, very dark compared to the other, which is okay. I'm kind of like even happy with that too, which is other one fades in the background and allows it to be much more like a moody part of the painting, much more gentle, basic sketch. But also we need to see in daylight. Right now is before 12, so it's obviously dark. But yeah, I'm actually playing also with kind of 3D effect when I just highlight one part of the line, and I'm gonna see how that works as a form of this shade of that line. Very cool, super interesting. Okay, For next kit goes a Molotov acrylic. Yeah. Very cool. I'm not sure to which camera. I'm adding this extra camera for eye contact. I'm not sure it's gonna be too complicated. Maybe it's too overkill, and this is also not helpful. We have my posture. We have that second camera there. I mean, I think it's pretty cool setup. But yeah, okay, let's do it. Okay, so this is this golden one. Let's see how it behaves before I formulate defaults. Interesting. So I can see that there's different layers of the ink in it, which this one's supposed to be. Let me see. It's kind of like a gold color, and I think you need to mix the ink inside really well. So you get more of that. Yeah, it's difficult. I don't know how it works, but one of the lines become more gold, which is other ones become more green. It's almost like a situation where the pigment sits too long in the container. I bought those like a couple of years ago, so maybe that is okay. So I think there's a science to it. So if you like put a much more lighter pressure to it, I get this much more golden appearance. When I push more stronger, I'm hitting the gold tones. Really cool, although the problem with this type of approach is that you cannot rely on it, that we always get the same tone, which might be what you want to get out of it. In my case, I wanted to have more control here. So it's a smaller piece, and obviously the changing of the tone goes very much when it comes to such a size and scale of the artwork. Alright, next we have on this one. This is a black liners, switching tools, and I had a silver color. Let me check where I had it. Yes. We could just try it. It stops us from trying. Okay, let's have it try. Okay, so this is a chrome color. It's definitely not in the silver realm, but yeah, definitely something. Somehow I feel I could look into the camera more this one than this frontal one. It's just a slightly different relationship that I have. I don't know why. Maybe it's because the distance of it is like I'm talking to if you would sit there, you know? I mean, this is pretty cool. Also interesting to think about the silver color as a form of energy, you know? Okie dokie. So this is my silver, and now we're going with copper. Ooh, God, it smells so good. The marker smells so good. Okay, so this is clearly the most contrasting color. The gold is not really so gold, but this bronze, it's really thick and really dark. I would say too dark for my taste. It's almost like have a tint of pink to it. Now, we're also gonna record it in the daytime to see what is happening. Oh, just to have more contrast inside the painting. Okay, we're gonna do this swirl here. And yeah, we're gonna push it out like that. So almost like some magic energy is coming from that spot. It reminds me this type of the gesture of pushing those lines almost like a tip of the clouds, you know, when the clouds have this movement on top, they fly like that, and you can see just the tip of it when it meets this blue sky. I feel like I'm just making swirls of those top tips of the clouds. Really cool exercise. Yeah. Even fill. Yeah, I wonder how this technique would work if I would, for instance, try to fill the larger spaces of the painting. Yeah, I can tell it's going to be problematic with this size. We'll need to go with this type of the brush, and not brush, this type of the marker to cover those larger spaces. And also, we don't have a 100% assurance that we're gonna hit the ink fast enough so it doesn't leave the patchwork. Yeah. Definitely, I feel even from this sketch, I feel movement, the energy flowing inside, and wanting to be something. Very cool. Interesting, I just noticed that I'm doing everything in the form of continuous line, but what will happen if I incorporate more broken line? Is that the way to also create the depth of painting? Does it everything has to be continuous? Does every line needs to meet itself with the bigger one, like a current of the river? Or is it okay? I don't know. I really do not know, and I want to find out. The bark of the tree, the tips of the clouds, the mind of unknown, the secrets behind, the restless nights of flowing dreams. It's me finding life in every swirl. What would happen if I take this yellow that I used on the other painting and cover parts of the ink that were already dried? What will happen if I cover those strokes with this paint? Will transparency come out? Will it be fully opaque? Will the color be too light and look like shit? We are here to find out. Ladies and gentlemen, unexpected turn of events. The markers are not fully opaque. They are rather transparent. We need to watch out. The tip of the marker is getting colored, which could destroy the marker as it may dry out the parts of it. Okay, I really like it. Kind of want to paint over some areas as a form of rebellion against the line art. And I have a mishmash of the techniques, but I have a freedom of exploration. I think this is really cool. Now the question would be, I'm gonna leave it for a second. What will happen if I will cover with the paint again, once it dries out, again those marks? Will they become fully opaque again? You know, this paint from this marker will become opaque and add this extra layer, so it will be like almost highlighter theory of working with art. Very useful for a sketching approach, maybe for more rustical paintings where I want to consciously incorporate a line art as a form of a character. We shall see. Yeah, let it dry a little bit. Okay, so I think we are solid here. Here we are still wet. So let's cover this darker part of the gold one more time. Okay. Okay, so the general takeaway is that it's working but it's not working as much as I would like it to work. That means that we need to add many layers of that markers in order to be alive. But I think this is good exercise, and I think we came to the conclusion that different markers leave different opaqueness of its color. We came to the conclusion that silver stands out because of different pigmentation. Bronze is much more darker. The green colors have a hue, the gold colors have a hue of the green, which doesn't make them look like really a gold. But yeah, it is another form of drawing on it. Might be useful maybe for some kind of old look, rustic look. We also learned that the yellow is yellow marker, acrylic marker, is transparent and works like the highlights, and the highlights themselves. Other smaller markers are also good, like under sketch. Yeah, so if I would want to cover this artwork with a more opaque color, I would have to go back to the acrylic paints, which allows me to do the brushwork, cover it in the higher opaqueness of the paint, and work like that. Not entirely sure how those two techniques gonna combine together. Would be a clash of techniques? Would that be alright, or maybe it would be too much? Yeah, I think this is a good way to end this session tonight, and I would like to thank myself for doing it. I was really excited to start, and even though it's late, I'm really excited I did it, and it's documented, and I live to create.